Hello everyone, it's me, Juan, Give Me 4 bringing a video today. We're going to be doing another reaction video. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Wait, why are we reacting to the new version? Weren't you supposed to be doing the old version, like you said? Well, here's the thing. Last night I released a short. And in that short, you can pretty much check it out on the short sections. But basically, what I said is that originally yesterday was supposed to be the normal version, right? But guess what? It got blocked. It got blocked. So I'm just figuring we're gonna try and see with the SpongeBob Conspiracy, the new version. Hopefully this can work, but yeah. Apparently, Camp Coral footage is what deemed it to be blocked, so we're just gonna go. Hopefully, it fixes this one.
The continuity with King Neptune is a bit of a mess. There are two different King Neptunes.
Yeah.
There's a King Poseidon. There's three different royal palaces. Two of them are called the City of Atlantis, but there's also a third unrelated City of Atlantis. It's confusing to say the least. But there is actually a way to explain how all of this is intentional and connects together. This is a story of power, deception, and betrayal.
Okay.
This is the Neptune theory.
All right.
King Neptune is the ruler of the seven seas and the Roman god.
Wait, stop. Go back.
King Neptune is the ruler of the
There's another secret muse code at the background pillars that can be decoded with R2 ROI23. I think that's what I think it is. I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully
if you watch my evolution theory, you know there's also a
maybe this could work out. I'm not sure.
Bottom are so evolved and able to talk. He lives in the city of Atlantis with his wife Queen Amphitrite and his son Triton. But in the first SpongeBob movie, he's replaced by a completely different King Neptune who has a completely different daughter named Mindy.
Yeah.
These guys don't look or sound at all the same, so how can they both exist in this universe? Well, there's already an interesting theory out there about this.
All right.
It's widely believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future after the events of the show. So widely believed that I got hundreds of comments about it in my Mrs. Puff theory. Yep, I know, guys. I heard what you said. The creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, said he wanted to end the series with the movie, and it being canonically at the end of the...
Stop. Also, Steven Hillenburg never fully left the show after the movie, like many people think. He stayed on as an executive producer and is still involved in overseeing episodes. He used to knew about and was involved in the development of Camp Coral. Okay.
SpongeBob timeline would explain why we never see the Krusty Krab 2 or any of the other characters from the movie in the later SpongeBob episodes. And some people believe that the reason why movie Neptune is so different is because he's actually Neptune's son, Triton, all grown up. And that's a pretty cool theory, but I don't buy it. Other than Triton looking nothing like movie Neptune, I've never actually believed that the SpongeBob...
And also because the fin looked blue. Yeah, Triton got blue, while King Triton... You don't see it, but I'm doing air quotes. Has green. Green. So it's like, what's the deal on that one? I mean, what? Does the royal... Were those like pants? Ugh.
Movie takes place in the future. Despite there being many people who commented about it on my Mrs. Puff theory as if it was a proven fact, there's never actually been any official confirmation of it. Steven Hillenburg only said that he wanted to stop making SpongeBob after the movie. He never said anything
Which
about
I feel
where
like
the movie
it
actually
could,
takes place
but at the
in
same time we would have missed out with more episodes.
And we do actually briefly see Neptune's daughter Mindy show up later in the show in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout.
I never saw that
episode. There's no way she'd be there unless the show took place after the events of the movie. You know, I still get this comment to this day.
How?
Like, people really think this is like an indisputable proven fact. I do have some really interesting new evidence about the movie being fake and when it takes place in the timeline, but it's just too complicated to bring up here, so I'm gonna save it for the mini theory.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Going on here with Neptune is something much more interesting, and it ties directly in with the television theory. If you haven't seen that video, it basically proves that the entire show, SpongeBob SquarePants, is actually a nature documentary.
We also did a reaction to the Neptune theory, so I'm also gonna leave a I'll leave a link to the episode that we did, I guess both the. It depends if you want to watch the. Yeah, I'll leave the both links. I'll leave the links to the old one and the new one because it's great.
Filmed by scuba divers, and many of the
The
elements
television
we see throughout
theory
the
is
series are secretly set up
his
by
best.
the showrunners to make sure that the show is more entertaining and profitable. And this applies to the SpongeBob movie as well. There's promotional art and even a commercial that acknowledges the fact that it's just a movie being filmed.
SpongeBob, what kind of jellyfish is that?
Hey guys, it's Carlos from the Zone. Can you tell us about your latest adventure?
Well, this one adventure we had was a real Lulu.
You mean when we went after Neptune's crown? It seemed bigger than our usual adventures.
Yes, and with fewer interruptions.
Yay!
Thanks guys. We'll see you in the movie.
Movie? What's that?
I know.
I think the real reason why Neptune looks so different in the movie is because the filmmakers couldn't get the real King Neptune, the literal god of the sea, to show up for a movie.
What,
So
you can't
they
dial
hired
his
an
phone?
actor to pretend to be the king. And
Were there
is
at least an
actually
attempt?
a ton of evidence in the show to support this. King Neptune is supposed to live in the great city of Atlantis, but in the movie he just lives in some random sandcastle, almost like they just built a discount version for the movie.
Dang.
The real evidence comes from season 10, episode 18, Lost and Found, where
Okay.
SpongeBob goes beneath the Krusty Krab to look for something in the Lost and Found. As he searches through the surprisingly massive collection of items, on one of the shelves we see something mind-blowing. The crown worn by King Neptune in the SpongeBob movie.
What?
The entire plot of the movie hinges on the fact that Neptune thinks Mr. Krabs stole his crown. Why would Mr. Krabs have this now? Because this isn't just the Krusty Krabs Lost and Found. It's also where they store the props used by the SpongeBob SquarePants filmmakers to create the SpongeBob movie. If you remember from my television theory,
Dang.
Mr. Krabs is secretly working for the showrunners to spy on
Well,
all the main
the fake
characters.
Mr. Krabs.
And his secret
I mean, the real
surveillance
Mr.
room was hidden
Krabs.
beneath the Krusty Krab, just like this Lost and Found. So it makes perfect sense for the showrunners to hide their props down here. And if you still don't believe me, we also see SpongeBob's guitar.
Yeah.
Goofy Goober
Wait,
peanut
I saw it.
And if you still don't believe me, we
In this scene, SpongeBob shakes a snow globe at the bikini bottom, and the actual sea starts violently shaking. This could be a device the showrunner used to simulate earthquakes.
also see SpongeBob's guitar,
Dang.
Goofy Goober peanut hats, and the magical bag of wind. All items from the movie that would make no sense being down here unless this was the showrunner's prop storage and the movie King Neptune was just an actor. Well, that's one Neptune down. Now for the real mystery, King Poseidon.
Again, I never watched this movie. I didn't even know King Poseidon was a thing.
In the third SpongeBob movie,
Well-
Sponge on the Run, the king of the
No, I know a King Poseidon, but I never see King Poseidon, like, in SpongeBob, so it's like, I never watched this movie, so can anyone tell me if it's good? I stopped viewing SpongeBob after the second movie, the one where, I guess, all of them turned buff.
sea is yet again replaced by a new character, King Poseidon, the Greek god of the ocean. He actually does live in the city of Atlantis.
Okay, Unsolved Theory, alright. In the Patrick Show Season 1, Episode 11, X Marks the Pot, Man Ray had a miniature version of all three different cities of Atlantis in his lair. Are they just replicas, or did he somehow shrink and steal all the cities at one point?
Except instead of the ancient royal architecture, it's a giant casino designed to make money. It'd be easy to say that these are just two separate kings that rule different areas of the sea, but they both
I
claim
do
to be
wanna
the
say
ruler of the
something,
seven
but-
seas. Alright, I don't have too much to add to this theory, but I just want to mention that I do know that in mythology, Neptune and Poseidon are the same person, just with different names. But my point is, in SpongeBob, they are clearly supposed to be two completely different people. That's
Yeah.
kind of the whole point of this theory. So, how can two different characters both be the king of the same seven seas? The answer to that question actually has to do with a place called Camp Coral. Throughout the
Oh
first
boy,
SpongeBob
here
movie,
it goes,
they keep cutting
Camp
back to
Coral.
flashbacks of a
Oh
younger
boy.
SpongeBob and all the other characters when they all went to summer camp together. This was all to
This
set up
was,
a spin-off show called Camp Coral that followed these younger characters. Now, at first, I just wrote the show off as SpongeBob following the trend of making all their characters younger to appeal to a younger demographic.
I'm still not forgiving Teen Titans Go. I don't care. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, come on, Juan. Teen Titans Go is not meant for the people who view the original. It's for kids." And you know what? That's fine. But I'm not gonna forget the whole. I'm not gonna forget the whole thing about. Oh, thank you. Where was I? Oh yeah. I'm not gonna forget the whole thing where they literally try to bait us by saying that if the Teen Titans Go movie where basically they went to Hollywood. They say if that movie did well, they're gonna bring back the original Teen Titans. And I was so happy with, the possibility of season 6 coming up. But no, it was just a one-time crossover movie between the OGs and the Go versions. And that's it. We never seen them again. Come on, bring back Teen Titans. I know you can. I mean, we're now in a day and age where X-Men 97 is a big hit. I'm pretty sure you can do something with Teen Titans. Come on. And also bring back Static Shock as well.
It's been done before, and it's never very good. They also completely contradict the continuity of the main show by having characters like Sandy and SpongeBob meet as kids when we know they actually met as adults in the main show. Look, I am having a hard enough time
I just hope
figuring
that
out the
this
show's
time
continuity
around
on its own. I do not need another show full of contradictions to make it even harder. But the
I just hope that this time, I don't know. I'm just like talking through it. Hopefully, like this time it doesn't get erased, doesn't get blocked because of all the Camp Coral images.
creators
'Cause
actually
the
did
last
something
thing I
very
need-
clever to make the continuity work. The 7th episode of Camp
I'm
Coral
just gonna
ends
stop
with one of
talking.
the biggest
But
plot twists
go
I've ever
watch.
seen from the show. So in this episode, SpongeBob actually discovers the Krabby Patty secret formula way before it was supposed to be created by Mr. Krabs. But at the end of the episode, it gets accidentally destroyed by Sandy, and then we get this
Accidentally,
mind-blowing
okay.
scene.
This is Little Cheeks calling Big Cheeks. This is Big Cheeks receiving you from the future. Your plan worked perfectly. The formula worked out before Mr. Plankton could nab it. I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do. My
Yay!
mission accomplished, timeline preserved.
So Sandy used time travel to send her past self to
So I'm not sure if you guys noticed because like I was talking through it, but I do notice a lot of jumps. I think Alex Bale recognized the whole like because like I watched the original, right? And the whole like Camp Coral stuff like the segments were long. Okay? Like so much so that they were like complete episodes. So that's why the original. That's why I wasn't able to release the original because mine got blocked because of that. So I'm hesitant to say that this time I'm able to release this video, but hey, maybe those shortcuts can do.
Camp Coral so that she could make sure the Krabby Patty formula didn't get discovered before it was supposed to. They actually figured out a way to make this messed up
And make
continuity
Sandy a
sense.
rat still.
Don't you dare tell me this show doesn't care about.
Does SpongeBob being able to create the Krabby Patty formula in the Camp Coral disproves my Pearl mother, me? Maybe. At this point, Mr. Krabs is already taking care of Pearl by himself, so her mom would have already been dead from the war. We don't ever see what SpongeBob used the ingredients. We only know it costs only cost pennies. Like, what, and likely was already at the camp. Okay? Mr. Krabs runs to the camp, and SpongeBob cooks out the old skunky ship. It's possible in this ship that kills Pearl's mom, and SpongeBob stumbled upon Mrs. Krabs' secret stash of whale meat without realizing it was. Either way, I don't think these spin-offs are most reliable sources or disproving theories. Yeah, I mean, like, if SpongeBob were to find out what Mr. Krabs is doing, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't keep quiet, or also he wouldn't want to work there.
Continuity. Can I also just say that this scene lines up perfectly with my television theory? A major part of that theory is that Sandy is actually a spy working for the showrunners and is
Yes,
secretly
we all
making
know,
sure
she's a
everything
rat.
stays on track. And then what do we see a month after I post my theory? Sandy secretly manipulating everyone to keep the show on track.
Even manipulating the
give myself
timeline.
a little pat on the back there.
He's enjoying himself. I love that.
But enough gloating. What does any of this have to do with King?
Bro, Alex Bale giving himself a pat on the back. He should have given him multiple pat on the backs after watching that new Sandy Cheeks movie. So like,
Excited. Well, this proves that Camp Coral and the
I'm pausing a lot. I know. Maybe you could check out the original. You could check the official release, or I mean you can look over to Alex Bale if you don't like so much pausing. I'm sorry, but there's just so much to say. Notice how they call Camp Coral in the Poseidon movie instead of Camp Coral in the show. It's possible the camp exists in both timelines, hence why they reference it in the new episodes of SpongeBob. But only the CC universe has Poseidon as their king. It's confusing, I know. Come on,
Are in
man.
an alternate timeline. The events that have taken place in the show are not the same events in this movie. The
So
continuity
what? We're not
errors like
dealing with
Sandy and
multiple times.
SpongeBob
We're dealing with
meeting, or
timelines
Poseidon
now.
being the king of the sea instead of Neptune can be explained by this shift in the timeline. So there you go.
Ooh, another resolve theory. I really need to write these theories down. Maybe I'll try my hand in it. This does beg the question, why did Sandy need to fix the timeline in the first place? What caused SpongeBob to accidentally discover the Krabby Patty's recipe early? Could it be from one of the many times characters have time travel messed up the timeline? Did the showrunners themselves mess with the timeline in order to create a more marketable kid-focused spin-off? Maybe it has something to do with the Atlantean aliens. See Atlantean time manipulation note at the end of this theory. Okay. A lot of theories. A lot of theories. And if someone makes some SpongeBob theories, let me know.
King Poseidon in the show. And that is the Neptune theory. Huh. I mean, that wasn't so hard. I guess I'm done here.
No.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight. He must be mad about something.
That's silly. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
They're in the same timeline.
Why can't anything ever be easy?
It never is easy, man. It never is, to be honest.
This is the clip that really made me decide to make this theory. The beginning of Season 5, Episode 19, Spongehenge, shows two fish arguing...
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but... Isn't this the episode where, like, SpongeBob sponge holes, start making, like, music because of the hard wind? Because I remember in one episode, SpongeBob, he got hit by the takeovers, right? And as he was outside, like, the wind, the harsh wind was blowing through his holes and making this sort of majestic tone, like some sort of music, like, you know, how you do a flute. I have no idea what that is, so let me just do that. But you know what I mean, like, they're making, like, a majestic flute and all that, and I think it got the jellyfish, like, vibing with it, so I think this might be the episode. Who
over
knows?
whether Neptune or Poseidon is the real ruler of the sea. It's like the creators are directly telling us that both of these characters somehow exist in the same timeline, and it's our job to figure out how the puzzle pieces fit together. So, let's take a look. Despite both of these characters having similar appearances and personalities, there is one very important difference between them. Poseidon doesn't have powers. We've seen many times that King Neptune has magical abilities that he can use at any time, even without his trident. But in the entire third SpongeBob movie, we never see Poseidon use any powers or magical abilities. Except for lighting up his trident, but all he has to do for that is just flip a switch. And we know from the episode Trident Trouble that you don't even need to be a god to use the trident. And at the end of the third movie, we find out Poseidon is actually in terrible shape. If you remember at the end of the episode Neptune's Spatula, Neptune briefly turned SpongeBob into a god, and we can see that having god powers
that ain't my boy SpongeBob, that is Hercule Bob.
Poseidon in such terrible shape? Because he doesn't actually have powers. Only Neptune does. Even Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, has to use technology to zap someone, unlike Neptune, who only has to use his finger in the exact same episode.
So King Neptune is literally the strongest in the SpongeBob verse.
To answer this question, we first have to understand the origins of King Neptune. Now, throughout the show, there is very little information on Neptune's past. I read the Wikipedia, I looked through the comic books, the video games, but I just couldn't find anything that would help me. But then I remembered there are SpongeBob shorts, which are like mini episodes that only air once, usually to promote something. So I started looking to see if there were any that could help us, and lo and behold, there...
Okay, I know I said this in the old video, and I'm gonna bring it over here. But Alex Bale's a demon, man. He's a demon. Like, how? Like, come on now. This man, how do you think of looking for this? What, he's gonna start looking up lost episodes of SpongeBob as well? Heck, no way. Early drafts? Nah. Man, give me Alex Bale's tuition to research. I'm gonna need that in my life.
There is a SpongeBob short called The Story of King Neptune.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that could be helpful. This
It
short
does.
is about SpongeBob telling Patrick the origins of King Neptune, but it's not entirely clear whether it's true.
The story of
King Neptune.
When King Neptune was a little Neptune, his mother set him adrift in a river. As he floated along, a radioactive meteor fell to Earth. An alien appeared and anointed the infant with super Neptune fluid.
Also, maybe the green radioactive meteor in SpongeBob's story is a reference to Neptune's moon, which also kind of gives off a green radioactive vibe.
I mean, maybe?
The origin of King Neptune?
Sure.
So King Neptune was abandoned as a baby and then given his powers by aliens. But SpongeBob is holding an upside down.
And notice how the
comic book,
alien
so
has like
and then
a
given his
trident.
powers
Look.
by aliens.
Look, you see that? That alien also has a trident on his chest.
But SpongeBob is holding an upside-down comic book, so it feels a lot like something he just made up. And SpongeBob is not the most reliable narrator. Unless there's something in the story that we can definitively prove, I don't think we can use it for a theory. Like, do you really expect me to believe that Neptune got his powers from aliens? I mean, we've never even seen aliens in the show before.
Are you sure about that?
Except we have. And they just so happen to also live in a city called Atlantis. Season 5, Episode 12, Atlantis SquarePants. We see another completely different Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis. A city that's home to a race of aliens. The Atlantean aliens traveled billions of
Is
light
it
years
weird
to
that I
come to
was
this
kind of
planet and
freaked
build the
out
city.
by those
For
guys?
reasons unknown, this great city disappeared one day, but no ruins were ever found. All the inventions you take for granted were given to us by the Atlanteans.
They were a peaceful race of aliens.
Wait.
Inventions you take for granted were given to us by the Atlanteans.
Did the Atlanteans give them the magic con? Could they be secretly guiding Fishbook from the shadows? I mean, maybe, but you are telling me that from that episode where, like, SpongeBob and Patrick and Squidward were stuck in some sort of giant kelp forest? You mean to tell me they were this close to being near Atlantis?
They were a
I'm
peaceful
not
race
sure
of
about
aliens
that.
who shared their technology, but then mysteriously disappeared for some reason. And take a guess what we find when we look inside of that city. A massive sculpture of King Neptune. That story about aliens giving Neptune his powers
Ooh-wee.
doesn't sound so far-fetched now, does it? And that's not all we find.
Neptune's
Ta-da.
Ascension. The only surviving painting from the great lost city of Atlantis.
A painting created by the Atlanteans called Neptune's Ascension, aka Neptune ascending
Rising.
to his god status by being given powers by the Atlantean aliens. The story is definitely referencing this. There are too many connections for this to be a coincidence. So even though it's being told by SpongeBob and details like the aliens' appearance are wrong, the story itself is probably based on truth. And there's also a lot of evidence to support the idea that Neptune was abandoned as a baby. In Clash of Triton, Neptune is watching a soap opera in his bedroom and gets upset when his wife turns it off.
Oh, Neptune, surely this isn't the behavior befitting a king, doing nothing but watching daytime television.
Wait!
I'm sorry. It's just that Neptune has given me some relatable vibes. I don't know why, but it's like every single. Don't you have that feeling when, say your mom or your sister or your grandma has a soap opera on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this. I never really liked soap operas. I never liked soap operas, to be honest. I just found them corny and all that. But tell me why I'm starting to look at soap operas differently. Like, dang, girl, who hurt you? Also, I didn't mean to make that sniff, but I'm still sick, guys.
Rochelle was just about to meet her biological parents.
In the soap opera, Rochelle was just about to meet her biological parents. Maybe the real reason why Neptune's so invested in the soap opera is because he's never met his biological parents either. There's
Nah.
even tissues on the table next to him as if
Yes,
he's
I
been
read all your.
crying.
Maybe he's using.
So I was watching a
No, please.
Even tissues on the table next to him.
No. Maybe he's using those tissues for something else. Y'all get your minds out of the gutter.
As if he's been crying. So I was watching a new season 14 episode, and we
No.
briefly see this random lady living alone in a rundown cabin in the woods. And I think she might actually be Neptune's mom. Obviously, she's not a royal mermaid like from the story.
No.
We don't know how much we can trust the visuals of that story. She's
True.
got the same skin and hair color,
Yeah.
but the main thing that caught my eye was this photo of Neptune on her wall. I don't know, obviously there's not really much evidence here. I just thought it was kind of interesting and might be worth bringing up.
I can kind of picture Neptune's mother as someone who's sad and alone, living with regrets after seeing her abandoned son become king of the sea. Just a random speculation. I mean, yeah, I mean, you looking like, sure, this one looks regret. She's like, child support? Heck no.
And the idea that Neptune was abandoned as a baby works
should have learned.
perfectly with the mythology in the show. Neptune is the Roman god of the sea, but he's
Right.
the only reference to Roman mythology in the show. Everything else we see is from Greek mythology. In the episode Trident Trouble, we see a Greek chorus.
Behold,
I never seen those guys
Greek
before.
chorus. We narrate this epic tale.
Neptune once mentioned Zeus, the Greek god of thunder.
And then
I
along
say,
came
look,
Zeus.
Zeus, either you come up with more money, or Neptune walks.
I don't know why
Also
that
mentions
phrase
Apollo,
is so
the
funny.
Greek god of the sun.
Now behold, my beloved home of Atlantis. A prize worthy of Apollo.
I guess Apollo is both a Roman and a Greek god. Sorry about that, Apollo fans. That's my bad. Even in the city of Atlantis where Neptune
Dang,
lives,
get
there's a
called out
building
by the
named the
historians.
Poseidon, clearly named after Poseidon. So Neptune is clearly the outsider here, which is why he was abandoned as a baby. But if the sea is actually ruled by Greek mythology, then Poseidon should be the true heir to the throne. Why is Neptune the king in the show? Because after Neptune was given his god powers by aliens, he returned to Atlantis and stole the throne
Dang.
from Poseidon. This would explain why there's so much confusion over who the real king is.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight.
Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
Legally, Poseidon should be the king, but Neptune took it by force. And that's
Yep.
not all he took from Poseidon. Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, is the goddess of the sea. The Greek goddess of the sea, aka
Dang!
Poseidon. God damn, Neptune stole his wife and his throne. That is cold. God damn, Neptune stole his wife and his throne.
Is this the stay up
Greek goddess of the sea, aka the wife of Poseidon. Damn, Neptune.
Oh.
Gonna interrupt here. So,
Oh no. Nah, King Neptune dirty for that. Nah, that is vicious. King Poseidon, slide back. That's your wife. Get it back.
people have pointed out that the show's King Neptune is referred to as Neptune the 14th in
Yeah.
Season 4's Krusty Towers.
This room is hideous. Redesign it. Neptune the 14th will be nice. What?
Da, da,
And yeah,
da.
that does kind of feel like it contradicts my theory a bit, but I don't know, I still think it could work. Like, he could be from a long line of Neptunes, but also could have been abandoned by his mother for whatever reason. The two aren't mutually exclusive. Maybe his Roman parents were trying to protect him somehow from the Greek gods in charge of the sea. I don't know, this theory's already full of enough random speculation. I don't really want to add any more.
Nah, I think the more funny and, let's be honest, the more reasonable is that Neptune took the throne by force and took the girl. I'm not gonna lie, Neptune. That is foul. That is foul. Poseidon, I'm not gonna lie to you. I will never let that happen to me. Just saying. I'm gonna need you to slide back. Alright, bounce back in the next movie. Get your one-on-ones with King Neptune, alright? You have to fight back. Well, I mean, I would, but, you're going to need some real power.
And eventually, everyone did recognize Neptune as the rightful king. The pink fish who seemed adamant about Poseidon being the king completely changes
switch
her
up
mind
is crazy.
1 season later in Clash of Triton.
Wait a minute, King Neptune is coming here? Oh, I'm a huge
She is
fan of
sweating
the royal
bullets!
family. I just love everything they do.
And that is the real story of King Neptune. The reason why Poseidon is king in the third movie is probably because in that timeline, Neptune was never given his god powers, so he never stole the throne from Poseidon.
Dang.
Although, seeing as how Poseidon turned Atlantis into a big casino cash grab city, maybe it's a good thing Neptune took over.
The lost city of Atlantic City.
And that is the Neptune theory. That was a tough one, but we are finally done.
Yay!
See you next time, guys. Wait, why is Poseidon City called the Lost City of Atlantic City?
Why does it say city 2 times,
I
though?
mean, the Atlantic City part makes sense. That's a reference to the real-life Atlantic City, but why is it called the Lost City?
Why you gotta say city twice? Just say the lost city of Atlantis. You know, the lost city. Because, you know, whatever happens in the lost city stays in the lost city.
There's nothing lost about the city.
Exactly,
Like,
I can
everyone's
see
just
some of
able to find it.
the residents of
only
Bikini
other
Bottom in
reference
there.
to a lost city of Atlantis is the one with the aliens that gave Neptune his powers. Nope, I don't care. I'm done with this theory. I don't need to answer every
You
single
have
little
to.
question. I am
You have to. The people will
100%
speak.
done.
Yeah, you see, you gotta do it. By this point, I've done some fake ending. Wait.
I don't need to answer every single little question. I am 100% done.
By this point, I've done the same fake out ending so many times that it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Lol. That is crazy.
Fine, okay? One more quick part just to tie up all the loose ends, and then I am done.
Alright.
Here we go. So we know before the Atlantean aliens mysteriously disappeared, they shared their technology with the creatures of the sea.
Yeah.
I think the self-proclaimed gods of the sea got their technology, like tridents and their other weapons, from the Atlantean aliens.
Makes
In
sense.
fact, the Atlantean guards even use golden tridents as their weapons.
Yeah.
That's why the gods named their city Atlantis, to pay tribute to the Atlanteans that gave them their technology.
Yeah.
But all of that changed when Poseidon became king of the sea. He betrayed the Atlanteans and used their own weapons against them to conquer
Dang.
and turn it into a casino city. That's why Poseidon City is called the Lost City, even though it's not lost. It's referencing the Atlantean city that was conquered by Poseidon. And the reason why the Atlanteans gave god powers to some random abandoned baby in the main timeline was so that Neptune could take the throne from Poseidon and prevent him from conquering the alien city.
Wait. So it's possible they gave Neptune powers after Poseidon stole the city. But there is evidence that the Atlanteans have the ability to see the future. In Atlantis SquarePants, the Atlanteans already had a custom-fitted chairs for each of the characters by the time they arrive. Almost like they somehow knew who would be coming. It's possible Atlanteans used their advanced technology to see the future. And maybe they even responsible for even creating the timeline split by traveling back in time to give Neptune's power. Obviously, this is just a convoy speculation. Thank you for pausing to read my crazy ramblings. Honestly, it does make sense. I mean, like, but also, like, if that's the case, hold on. Because I'm pretty sure Plankton was also there, right? Plankton was also in Atlantis SquarePants. So wouldn't it make more... So why wouldn't the Atlanteans, like, why wouldn't the Atlanteans know that Plankton was there? Because I think at the end of Atlantis SquarePants, the Atlanteans kick SpongeBob and the crew out. Like, y'all not welcome here no more, alright? You ain't sanctioned around here no more. And I think it's mostly because of Plankton messing things up again. So, wouldn't they already know that Plankton was here, and maybe they should just banish Plankton and let the others stay? I mean, I guess it's all about, like, nope, we already see how one outsider can do. There's no telling what an entire group of them would do, so we're not taking any chances. I think it's probably that mentality, to be honest. Dang, Plankton, you ruined the fun for everyone. Well, that's just assuming that Plankton was in there. I'm just going off by memory.
And the reason why the Atlantean city mysteriously disappeared was because they hid it so no one could ever try and conquer them again.
Okay.
And that is the Neptune theory. I am done.
Alright. How does it hold up?
So, the Neptune theory. This was and still is the most difficult theory I have ever had to piece together by far. There is just so much inconsistent and contradictory information about these characters. Finding a way to actually tell a coherent story with them is not an easy task.
Dang.
Where are we going to put this one? sixth place. I
Dang.
still think it's a believable theory, but there's just a lot of assumptions and speculation, and sometimes it gets really convoluted and hard to follow, especially when we get into different branching timelines and talking about what is and isn't canon. But
Yeah.
hey, I did the best I could with the messy evidence they gave me. I don't think there is a clean and simple way to connect all of these characters, and I'm proud of what I came up with. On to the next mini theory.
Okay, and looks like we might be able to react to both. The GrandPat theory. What? Okay, this is news to me.
So, in 2021, Nickelodeon released a new spin-off show all about Patrick called The Patrick Star Show.
Which is crazy.
I'm Patrick Star, and I live with my parents. This is my dad. This is my mom.
Uh-huh.
This is my sister. This is my grandpa. This is my
Wait, I just saw
dad.
something.
This is my mom. This is my...
Notice how he actually grabs the camera. Yeah, so pretty much the television theory is pretty much it's pretty much done. Just confirmed. Just stamp approval of canon.
Sister, this is my grandpa, and this is my show!
And I was really interested in it because it seems to kind of acknowledge the fact that it is a TV show, with Patrick actually being filmed and putting on a show as part of the plot of each episode.
Yeah.
Coming to you from the start.
We were told that the show is imaginary and just them playing make-believe, but many times we see Squidina with an actual camera. I think she's the main spy of this show, working for the showrunners, keeping Patrick on track and making sure he never finds out it's truly an actual show. That makes sense. I mean, like, first of all, we never see Squidina. Okay? First of all, we never see Squidina. Second of all, where did she go in the main show? And third of all, didn't Patrick also had a sister? Like Sam? I think that's her name. Like, she was Patrick, but like tall, muscular. Well, not muscular, but like tough.
Family home. It's time for the Patrick Show. And here's your wide awake host.
The Patrick Show.
It's weird. It's supposed to be a prequel when Patrick was still living with his family.
New
but
homes
the
coming
Patrick's
soon.
Parents and sister
Yeah, you see,
characters
there it
that were
is.
established in the main show have been replaced by completely different people in this spin-off. This has been a long-running mystery about the Patrick Star Show that many people have asked me to talk about, but a storyboard artist for the Patrick Star Show actually addressed these contradictions in a very funny Twitter thread where he
Really?
offers many different possible explanations for why Patrick's family looks different. These range from
Wait.
he offers many different possible explanations for why Patrick's family looks different.
Obviously, this one is the real answer, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun speculating an in-universe answer for the out-universe. They were reminding one of the characters that were designed, development, whoopla!
These range from Patrick just perceiving reality differently,
Uh-huh.
to him just assuming whatever starfish is closest to him is his family, to some kind of crazy timeline manipulation. But
Ha.
my favorite is just that they were recast by the in-universe showrunners, and Patrick's too dumb to notice. Also,
Makes
casual
sense.
television theory confirmation, no biggie, we're used to it at this point. Now, I
We
watched
keep taking
a good
these
amount of
Ws.
this show when it was first coming out, and there wasn't really too much
My
here
man
for
got
me to
thrown into
analyze,
space, or he's
except
falling from
for
space.
one very interesting character, GrandPat, and it ties directly in with my Neptune theory.
How?
GrandPat is allegedly Patrick's grandfather, even though we've never heard about him until now.
Mom, Dad, who's this guy?
I'm your grandfather, GrandPat. Must we do this every morning?
He's sort of a generic, cranky old man character who's apparently somehow been alive since prehistoric times.
Okay.
In my day, we were food. It was way back in the Patrolithic period of early cave stars.
But
This
he's
is
not really
obviously-
that notable or
It was way back in the Patrolithic period of early cave stars.
This is obviously just what Patrick's imagining it looked like. True.
But he's not really that notable or interesting of a character, or that's at least what I thought, until I noticed something strange
Squidina's little
in the episode,
helper.
Squidina's little helper.
Sounds like we're doing a puppet show. Follow me. The secret crawl space runs all over the house.
As characters move through a crawl space at Patrick's house, one of them briefly opens the door and finds a weird secret room full of Roman architecture with GrandPat inside.
Who's a hungry boy? Dig in! Meat and grow up big and bristly.
Ugh.
The puppets are this way.
It's kind of a
Why
weird
was he eating
throwaway
from his
gag,
beard?
but
Is his
there's
beard
not really much to
sentient?
it, and they immediately move on with the episode without ever addressing it again. But something about this tiny, insignificant moment really stuck with me, even months after watching this episode. And
Yeah.
when I watched it again, I couldn't help but notice that the door leading to the room is labeled. XIV.
Yeah.
The Roman numerals
Oh.
14 for seemingly no reason. Is this supposed to be the 14th room in the house or what?
None of the
But
doors are
then
numbered.
I remembered we've heard the number 14 before in the season 4 episode, Krusty Towers.
This room is hideous. Redesign it. Neptune the 14th will be nice.
What?
King Neptune is also referred to as the 14th. Is it possible that there's some sort of connection between GrandPat and King Neptune? I mean,
What?
that's even the way you would write a king's ordinal number, with the Roman numerals XIV.
Yeah.
Also, the room is full of fancy royal Roman architecture, and the way GrandPat is relaxing and eating
All right,
grapes
let's just
like a
hope.
king. Hear me out.
I'm
hear me out.
hoping
Is it possible
that
GrandPat
we are pushing
is
through the
King
limits of my
Neptune?
tablet.
No, Neptune has the power to change the way people look.
You mean there's just a fake movie that it's like he's
And
still
it would
based on the
explain why
real life
GrandPat,
Neptune? Yeah.
just a normal sea star, is able to be alive as far back as prehistoric times.
Well, we
He
know
even has a
Neptune is
prehistoric
basically
drawing of a starfish wearing
immortal.
a crown in his bedroom. This could even explain why they thought Patrick was a descendant of royalty in Rule of Dumb.
Which makes you a descendant of royalty. You are a king.
But wait a
And there's
second,
also
wait
a different
Why
starfish.
would the King of the Sea be pretending to be Patrick's cranky old grandpa? Well, remember, the Patrick Star Show is a prequel to the main series.
Yeah.
And if you believe my Neptune theory, then you know Neptune wasn't always the King of the Sea. It's likely at some point he stole the throne and Poseidon's wife.
Yeah.
So, what if this takes place before Neptune became king?
When King Neptune was a little Neptune,
You know, he was just honing his skills and
When
all
he was
that.
all alone, abandoned by his own mother, desperate to find the family that he was denied his whole life. So, how would he get one? Well, it turns out that there just happens to be one family in the sea that's dumb enough not to notice when new family members are added or replaced. The Patrick Star family. So, he transforms himself into the cranky old grandfather character, GrandPat, and
Yeah.
secretly inserts himself into the family without their knowledge.
I mean, they even have a squid in Squidina to be a.
So you can see him too, Bunny? I thought I was the only one.
I'm your grandfather.
And they're all different shades of colors.
Do this every morning.
Finally,
Nah,
giving
you
him
chose
the
this, Kid
family love
Neptune.
he's been
You chose
searching
this.
for
Now
his
you must pay for
entire
it.
life. And if this all still sounds far-fetched to you, listen closely to the music we hear in this scene.
Okay.
Who's a hungry boy? Dig in. Meat and grow up big and bristly.
This small piece of music is called Roman Legions, composed by John Kakavas, and it
Okay.
was used only one other time in SpongeBob.
Who's a hungry boy?
This is going to be my longest video yet.
God of the sea, with his mighty
Triton.
In the season 10 episode, Trident Trouble, when they are introducing none other than
Then
King
King
Neptune
Neptune.
the 14th.
Oh, come on, man.
GrandPat
Have some decency
is
with the
King
weapon.
Neptune, and that is the GrandPat theory.
Dang.
Or at least it was until they released the episode Neptune's Ball, where we see King Neptune and GrandPat in the same room.
What?
I love your show.
Dang.
And I'm really conflicted about this because, yes, this obviously debunks my theory. Neptune and GrandPat can't
Maybe
be the same
King
person
Neptune was
if they're
trying
both
to,
in the same room.
you know,
But
throw off
why does
suspicions.
all of this evidence feel so specific and intentional? Like, most evidence I find can usually be explained as an
Maybe King Neptune is trying to. Maybe King Neptune is probably, you know, having a sort of, you know, like, nostalgic trip. Like, you know, he wants to go back to, you know, he was feeling proud of where, you know, the journey to becoming king. Maybe he used time travel. I mean, come on. He's a god. He could pretty much do anything.
Easter egg or a coincidence, but like, I can't think of any other reason why this random room would have the Roman numerals 14 on it. Maybe this was something they were setting up but changed their minds about, or maybe there's some sort of time travel shenanigans going on, because we know Patrick's family has a time machine in this show.
GrandPat particularly uses a lot.
Or maybe I'm just in denial and I'm overthinking small little random details.
Dang.
Like I've said, these are the theories
I never
that
actually
didn't
said
make the
this is
cut
in the
for their
video,
own
but I mentioned what's
videos,
next.
So they're not all gonna be as strong as my main theories. But even if it's unlikely,
Hold on, let me see.
these are the theories.
There are theories I come up in the back when I was still making SpongeBob theories, and I always wanted to share them.
That didn't make the cut for their own videos, so they're not all gonna be as strong as my main theories. But even if it's unlikely, I'm still gonna hold out hope that maybe I'll be proven right someday. Oh well, on to the next theory.
Whoo-wee. That was the most longest video ever, so I'm just gonna cut it short. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. My longest video ever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video so I know you guys enjoy. Comment up below what do you guys think. We're going to be doing the Goofy Goober one. And who knows, I'll probably think of some other way to put in the muse from the Neptune theory, because we are missing out a lot of the muse. We'll see what we're going to do, but I don't know, man. My thing's burning, and this is the longest video I ever made. So I'm just going to put it as, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Juan Gamer 54, signing off.